This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so what have we discussed in our last session? Okay, we started off with product costing, and we understood in product costing there are two parts. What are those two parts? Within product costing, what are the two things that we are going to discuss? Number one is product
Control.
planning,
Planning.
right? And second is cost object controlling. Okay, what is the difference between these two? First one is product cost planning. In this one, we are going to plan the price of the product. We are going to plan the cost of the product. What does it mean? It means whenever we are going to manufacture a new material, okay, or may not be the new, maybe the existing material that you always have. So it is very important to know the price of the product. It is very important to know what is the cost of that particular product which we need to manufacture it, right? And we also discuss why it is important for us to determine the cost of the product. It is important to determine the cost of the product because if we know the cost of the product, we can easily determine the sales price. Also, we will be able to take the make versus buy decision, whether it makes sense to make this particular material on our own or we should buy it from the market, right? So number one is product cost planning, which will help us in identifying the cost of the product. Number two is cost object controlling. If you remember, I told you cost object can be production order. Cost object also can be sales order. Okay, which means whenever I am creating a production order to manufacture a particular material. Okay, what is production order? Production order is created in PP module where we tell the system that we want to manufacture this many units of the finished good, right? So we want to make sure that whatever is the expense, whatever is the cost to manufacture that particular material under this production order, that is in control, that is not going beyond the standard cost. If it is going beyond the standard cost, then definitely we need to book it into the variance. Okay, so anyways, if it is too tough for you to understand as of now, don't worry, we will talk about this topic in detail. But just remember, as of now, there are two topics within product costing. One is product cost planning and second is cost object controlling. Okay, now we are going to go into the details of product cost planning. We are going to understand what exactly is product cost planning and how to determine the standard cost of the material. Okay, so if you remember the example that we took last time, or maybe we can just write it in the Excel. So simple, whenever you are going to use this product costing is normally used in the manufacturing companies. Okay, it is not mandatory, but most probably standard cost is a component which would be used for the manufacturing companies, right? So if you have a manufacturing company which is into manufacturing of, last time we discussed desktops and laptops. Okay, so let's say we want to determine the cost of the desktop. Okay, so your company is manufacturing a desktop and they want to know what is the cost price for this particular desktop. And if I want to know the cost of the particular material, what I need is I need two things. I need BOM. Okay, last time we understood this in detail. What is BOM? BOM is nothing but, can you tell me what is BOM?
Bill of material.
Bill of material, but what exactly it contains?
It contains all the raw material, price, quantity, and
Right,
price.
it consists of, yes, price may not be, price we don't enter in the BOM, but you are right, we need to know which material is required in how much quantity, right? So we need to know, we need to tell the system that okay, in order to manufacture a desktop we need what kind of raw materials. Okay, so let's say we need the raw material like we need the hard disk. Okay, we need a RAM, we need a CPU box, Okay, we need a monitor, then we need a processor. Okay, then we need the monitor is done, keyboard and mouse. Okay, so keyboard and mouse. Okay, just for example. Okay, so if you think that there is one important thing we missed, you can tell me. Otherwise, no need to worry. Just assume that these are the raw materials required in order to manufacture a particular desktop. Okay, so desktop is our finished product. Okay, this desktop is our finished product. We are trying to determine the cost of this finished product. So first thing is we need a BOM with quantity. So we need one hard disk, we need one RAM, we need one CPU box, one monitor, one processor, one keyboard, and one mouse. Okay. Second important thing which we need to know in advance is routing. Now, what do you mean by routing? What is routing?
Routing involves all the activities involved into production of that particular one unit of finished product.
Exactly. So if I know that these are the raw material requirements, and let's say if my stores department has issued all this material to me and he said, okay, let's manufacture this 10 desktops. So they provided 10 hard disk, 10 RAM, 10 CPU. What I'm going to do next? Okay, using the raw material that I got, I'm going to perform some activities. Right, so let's assume in order to manufacture a desktop, the activities that we need to perform is first activity is assembling. Okay, second activity is quality check. And third activity that I need to perform is packing. Let's say these are the three activities that we need to do before our product is ready to be delivered to the customer. Right, so now assembling, similar to BOM, in BOM we told the raw material with the quantity, how much quantity we need. In routing, we need the activity with the time. Okay, how much time are you going to perform the assembling activity? How much time are you going to perform the QA activity? And how much time are you going to do the packing activity? So let's assume assembling will take 30 minutes. Okay, there is a activity of 30 minutes to like each and every computer will need 30 minutes to assemble. Let's say this is a manual activity. This is not done with machine. So 30 minutes this department, assembling department, will take to manufacture or assemble this particular desktop. QA will take just 10 minutes. Okay, and packing department will take another 10 minutes. Okay, so these are the list of activities. Now again, if I give you the BOM and if I give you the routing, can I determine the cost of the product? Still not, right? Why? Because I don't know the price of these activities and I don't know the price of these materials. I need to know the price of the material and I need to know the price of the routing, price of these activities. Then only I'll be able to determine the cost of the product. So let's assume we got the price information also. So what is the price per unit of all these materials? So let's say hard disk is going to cost you 5,000. RAM will cost you another 2,000. CPU box is again 2,000. Okay, again just for example, don't take it seriously. Processor maybe 5,000. Keyboard 500 and mouse 500. Okay, so which comes to total cost of raw material is 17,500. Okay, maybe let's increase it a little bit. So this one and this one. Okay, so it should be 25,500 or maybe 250, 250. So now total raw material cost is 25,000, right? This is total raw material cost. And activity cost, what about the activity cost? So let's say I'm just writing here the activity amount per hour. So let's say assembling departments provide assembling activity in maybe it charges 4,000 per hour, right? This department, quality department, also charges, let's say, again I'll just write something and then I'll do the adjustment. So all these departments are providing different activities at some hourly rate. Okay, so I'm going to use 30 minutes of this department, so it would be 2000. Here I'm going to use only 10, so maybe let me write here 6. Okay, so this would be 1000, and then let's say this department, packing department, is going to charge this much, so it would be 2000. Okay, these are just the dummy figures just to make sure that the total cost now we got is 30,000, right? So if I just calculate all these things, it is 30,000, which includes the raw material cost of 25,000 and 5,000 is my activity cost. Okay, so this will become my standard cost of the product. Okay, so now we need to replicate this scenario in the system. Okay, currently we are doing all these things in Excel. We need to specify all these things in the system somewhere so that the system is able to calculate the standard cost for us. Okay, so what do we need for this particular scenario? Number one, we need to create the finished product as a material. Okay, so we need to create a material master. How many material masters we need to create? So first of all, this desktop will be created as a material master under the FG. Okay, we need to create a finished product as material. Then we need to create this many number of materials as raw materials. Then we need to create this many activity types, right? And then we will talk about where to enter the BOM and how to enter the routing. So first thing, let's create the materials and the activity types.
Excuse
Okay,
me,
now, yes, yeah.
Vikram, if it's not too much, can we add overhead expenses as well?
Yes, if you want to add BOM plus routing and overhead, which is very common. So let's say you are not done here, you also want to add the overhead expenses of let's say 10%. So 3,000, which will give you the total cost of this material as 33,000.
Yeah, but these overhead expenses will be how it will be maintained, and will it be automated to get this standard costing, or
Yes, so that is what we will discuss now. So how the overhead expenses will be mentioned, that is done using the cost sheet. There is something called as cost sheet. So we need to enter all these things in the system somewhere, right? So for example, this we are creating as material, this we are creating as BOM. Similarly, this we need to create as a cost sheet.
okay, Vikram, thank you.
I'll show you. Don't worry about that.
Yes.
Okay, so where we need to start is we need to create some materials. First of all, we need to create a desktop and we need to create this many number of raw materials. Okay, let's get started now with the actual thing in the system. So let me log in. Okay, so I'll just keep on writing the activities here so that we are completely understanding what exactly we need to do in order to set up the standard cost of the material. So number one, FG material, FG and raw material should be created as material master in SAP. Now, what I'll also do is I will also write who is responsible for that. So what do you think? Who is responsible for creating the material master? Which department, which user?
People.
So normally will create the material master, but the accounting information will be maintained by FI. So this is not a consultant, this is a user, end user. End user creates the material master and accounting related information is maintained by FI end user, FI user. Okay, so we will keep on adding here. Whatever we are doing, we will keep on having the list that what are the activities that we need to do in order to determine this standard cost of the product. Okay, so now let's try to create FG and raw material. So I will go to transaction MM01 is a transaction to create the material. Okay, in ECC also we were using the same transaction. Even in S4HANA we are going to use transaction MM01 to create the material. So let's go to transaction MM01. Here I need to enter the material, whatever material I want to create. So material can have the internal number range or it can have the external number range, but what I'll do is I'll just try if I can use this external number range. So I'll directly write desktop. Okay, this industry sector we don't need to worry, you can select anyone from here. So in my example, maybe I will go with mechanical engineering. Okay, and material type, this is an important field, very important field, which determines what is the nature of this material. So if you are creating the finished product, then you should go for FERT for finished product. Okay, for whenever you are creating the finished product, you should use FERT here. Just press enter. System will give you this tab, this views. Always select basic data. Now since this is finished product, we are going to sell it, and that is the reason I am entering the sales information. I am not entering the purchasing information because this material is not supposed to be purchased. This material is supposed to be manufactured, right? And since we are doing the manufacturing, there is no need of purchasing. Then we need to maintain this general plant data, storage location data, because we are manufacturing this. As of now, we are understanding MTS scenario. MTS means we are manufacturing this particular product, but we are not going to directly sell it. It will be there in our stock. From stock, we will keep on selling it, right? So we need to have this material in the stock, and that is the reason I'm entering the plant and storage location where this material is going to be stored. Okay, and then very importantly is accounting 1. Okay, others can be ignored as of now. Let's press enter. Here you need to specify for which plant, for which storage location, for which sales organization, and for which distribution channel are we going to make this particular material. So number 1 is, have we maintained any plant? Have you created any storage location? Have you done any sales organization? I don't think so. Right? For our company code ABCS, have we created the logistics enterprise structure?
No, Vikram.
We are not created, right? So let's see ABCS, whether it is created as a plant or something. No. So number 1, we have to do the logistics setup. Okay, now when you are working in the real-time project, definitely this will be done by your logistics consultants, MMSD, PP consultants, but this will see, I can easily say, and many times in the trainings people say that, okay, this will be done by MM and SD, you don't need to worry, I already set up, and you just worry about what is happening in the controlling. But I don't want to do that. There is a reason behind that. If I do that, then many things are hidden from you, okay, in the real-time project also. So what happens is, whenever you come across any product costing error, as soon as you see, oh, this is a plant error, you don't know how to solve it, but you will always ask MM or SD to solve it, and they will keep on throwing to each other. So it is a MM will say this is not my problem, SD will say this is not my problem, FI will say this is not my problem. The problem is that nobody wants to touch the other areas. Okay, so if you are working on the product costing, if you want to become a good product costing consultant, you have to understand the basics of MM and SD also. Okay, this is a module which is integrated with all other modules in SAP. Okay, so that is the reason it will not take much time, but try to understand each and everything, what is required from MM, what is required from SD, and what is required from PP. At least these 3 modules you need to understand the basics, at least the integration part, how these 3 modules are integrated to see. Okay, so definitely I need to come out of this, because first thing I need to do is I need to set up the enterprise structure. So let's go to SPRO. You already know what is enterprise structure from the accounting and controlling point of view. So in order to use the controlling module, I need a controlling area. In order to use the financial module, I need the company code. Similarly, if I want to do anything in logistics, if I want to do anything in sales, anything in purchase, I need to have some enterprise structure set up. So you will go to enterprise structure, definition. Okay. Within this, we will start with logistics. Okay. So this two we already completed. We have created a company code. We have created a controlling area. Next is go to the logistics general. Okay. And here there is an option to define, copy, delete, check plant. Okay. So let's click on this. Double click on define plant. You can always copy the plant also if you want. Instead of creating it from scratch, you can copy also. But let me show you, it is not going to be very difficult. Let's create a new one completely. So ABCS, this is our company code. So I'm providing the same code. If you have multiple plants, then you can use ABC1, ABC2, whatever you want. But in our case, I think one plant should be enough. So ABCS, and I think this factory calendar is a mandatory field. So in factory calendar, just select IN. Since we are using Indian company code, you can use IN. If you are using, whenever you created a company code, if you created it in US or maybe some other country, so provide that same factory calendar here. Okay, so we just created a plant. Again, I'm just maintaining the mandatory information, that is country, and click on save. So this way we created a plant. Now the plant is ready. Let's come out, close this. Okay, and within the logistics general, I don't need location, but division is required from the sales point of view. Later on, whenever we are going to understand how are we going to sell the product, how are we going to do the cost object controlling for sales order, we need to create some sales orders also, right? And that is the reason this division is also required. New entry. So division is maybe AB, ABCS, and save it. Okay, division is 2 characters. That is the reason I just provided AB. So logistics general is done. Let's close it. Go to sales and distribution, which is required from the sales point of view. So number one is we need the sales organization. Sales organization is required whenever you are going to create any sales order. So new entry. Again, I'll provide the same code. Okay, and save. If there is anything mandatory, we will just maintain that information. Otherwise, we will just ignore the other details. Okay, so sales org is also ready. Let's come out, close this. We need the distribution channel. What is distribution channel? Distribution channel is within one company, you may have multiple ways to sell the product. For example, you can sell the product from the stores, you can sell the products through online, you can sell the products using your mobile app, right? So these are the distribution channels. But again, we as FI or CEO consultant, we don't need to worry. This will be created by the sales in the project, but I'm just showing you where exactly you can go and see how many distribution channels are created. Okay, so this was distribution channel. Come out of this. These are optional. I'm not creating it. And then let's go to the materials management. Within materials management, we will create the storage location. Storage location is within a plant. Let's say you have a very big plant. In this plant, there are multiple small units. Let's say multiple different rooms. So if your stock is available, you need to know within a plant in which room this stock is available. So that is nothing but storage location. I'm creating the storage location within plant ABCS. New entry. Let's say ABC1. This is my first storage location, and click on save. Okay. And the last one is purchasing organization. If I want to create a PO, I need a purchasing organization. For raw materials, I definitely need to purchase them, right? So that is the reason I will create ABCS as the purchasing org also. Okay, and the last one is logistics execution. In this one, we need to create just one thing. It is called as shipping point. Define, copy, delete, check shipping point. What exactly is shipping point? Shipping point is whenever you are delivering the material to the customer. So your customer has given you the sales order, you have created the sales order in the system. Now at the time of delivery, you need to tell from where exactly customer will pick this particular material. So that is shipping point. I'm creating only one, ABCS. Okay, click on save, come out, close. So now we are done with definition. We created the sales org, we created the purchasing org, we created a plant. But have we told this system till now that this plant, this sales organization, this purchase organization will be linked to which company code? We are still not told that to the system. So that is something that we need to do in the assignment. So once you complete the definition part, you will go to the assignment part. Let's go to the assignment part. In this assignment, you will start with logistics general because again we completed already these two activities. Let's go to the logistics general. So number one itself is assign plant to company code. So the plant that we created, we need to assign it to our company code. So click on new entry. Our company code is ABCS, and under this is a plant. So now system knows, okay, ABCS is a plant which is coming under the company code also ABCS. Okay, close this, go to sales and distribution, assign the sales organization to company code. Okay, so here also you will select your company code, which is ABCS, and you will assign. Sorry, where is that? Yes, you will assign your sales organization to company code. Okay, and click on save. Next is what? Next is assign the distribution channel to sales organization. So we created the distribution channel AB. We need to assign it to the sales organization. So ABCS would be assigned to distribution channel AB. And save. What is next? Assign division to the sales organization. So we created division also. So ABCS will be assigned to AB. Save. Back. Okay, set up a sales area. This is a combination of sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Okay, these are important. Whatever activities I'm doing, these activities also you have to do it. You cannot ignore these activities. Okay, sales area, whenever you are trying to create a sales order, normally we create a sales order using transaction VA01. You can see system is asking you order type, it is asking you sales organization, distribution channel, and division. So these three things we assign to each other just now. Right? Sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Let's come out. These are optional. This is required. Assign sales organization to distribution channel to plant. So again, new entry. Sales organization is ABCS. Distribution channel is AB, and plant is ABCS. Save it. Okay, let's close sales and distribution. Last one is materials management. So assign purchasing organization to company code and assign purchasing organization to plant. These two important things. So purchasing org is ABCS. We have to assign it to company code ABCS. Number two is assign the purchasing org to plant. So new entry, ABCS will be assigned to plant ABCS. Okay, so this completes the assignment from the MM point of view also. Last one is in logistics execution. We created a shipping point, right? So that shipping point also we need to assign to the plant. So assign shipping point to plant. In this one, it is not like the table. What you need to do is just do Control F to select your shipping point, which is ABCS. Click on this and click on assign. Okay, again do Control F, ABCS, select this, tick on this, okay, like this, and click on save. So ABCS as a shipping point is assigned to ABCS as a plant. Okay, so this activity is also completed. So now we have all the organizational units. We have the sales organization, we have the purchase organization, we have the plant, we have the storage location, all those things which are required to create the material master. Most of those things are ready with us. Next thing is, from the MM point of view, if you want to activate the MM for our company code, then there is one activity that you need to perform. Just remember this transaction code. It is OMS2, I think.
So there was
Transaction
plant
OMS2.
maintenance under that. Do we need to maintain that also?
Which one?
Just now you assigned, right? Under that plant maintenance was there.
PM. No. Plant maintenance is a separate module. So we are not discussing PM.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Similar to MM, SD, PP, this PM is a separate module altogether. So we don't have any link. Actually, if your company is using plant maintenance, then there might be some integration with CO, but it has nothing to do with the product costing.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, it was not OMS2, I think OMSL. Let me try this transaction. Otherwise, I'll show you through SPRO. Not this also. Last one is OMSY. Yes, this one. Okay, so if you see, this is activation of materials management for our company code. So whether in our company code we want to use MM or not, that is something which we need to specify from here. Okay, so if I go for my company code, ABCS, you can see these fields are blank, and that is the reason it will not allow you to do any MM transaction in this company code. So what do we need to do here is, we just need to tell the system what is the current period. So 2019 12th period, right? We are in the December 2019 and we are following K4 calendar year. Am I right? Let's verify. Are we following the calendar year or the Indian fiscal year? So OBYC, sorry, OBY6, not C, OBY6 for company code ABCS. Yes, we are following K4, which means Jan to December. So just make sure that your current month has been specified here. Okay, so year is 2019 and month is 12th. Just save it. Okay, so now in our company code, even material management has been initialized.
Vikram, what's the transaction code for this activity?
This one?
Yeah.
It's it is OMSY.
OMS. Thank you.
OMSY to activate the materials management in our company code. Okay, now if we can go to transaction MM01 and try to create the finished good once again. So I'll select this desktop. This is fine. This is fine. Let's press enter. So as I told you, I'll select basic data 1, basic data 2, sales. Okay, purchasing I don't need as of now. General data and then accounting data. Okay, press enter. So now it is asking for plant, storage location, sales org, distribution channel. We already created all these things. So plant is ABCS. Storage location is again ABC1, I think, right? Storage location that we created was ABC1. Sales organization ABCS and distribution channel that we created was AB. Press enter. Okay, and this is where you need to enter the information related to material. So what is the description? So let's say this is a desktop. Okay, if you want to give the proper configuration, you can enter all those things here. Unit of measurement would be each. Okay, because the desktops we are not going to measure in liter or kiloliter or those things. We are going to measure in the units. That is the reason per unit is each. Okay, and keep on pressing enter. If there is any field mandatory, system will ask you. Otherwise, you can ignore the optional fields. Okay, enter, another enter. Okay, in this one, this tax related fields are important. So you have to tell the system whether the this particular material is taxable or non-taxable. So I don't want to create a confusion here. Just select 0, which means non-taxable. You don't need to worry about tax as of now. Okay, 0, which means tax exempted, and 0 because this tax has nothing to do with the costing. Okay, and keep on pressing enter again. Wherever there is any field which is mandatory, system will stop you and it will tell you that provide this information, otherwise you will not be able to go further. Okay, in accounting, please provide the valuation class. Okay, what is valuation class? Valuation class, this is an important field which determines which GL accounts would be debited or credited whenever you are buying or selling this material. Okay, so for finished good, normally standard whatever is provided by SAP is 7920. So whenever you are using the finished product, SAP has provided 7920. Maybe whenever you are working on the project, if a customer has created their own valuation class, then they will select their own valuation class here. Okay, so this is the information that we need to enter. Try to save it. Yeah, this is very important. You can see the price control is S. What do you mean by price control as S? This means the standard price. If you do F4 here, we are telling the system that for finished products we are going to follow the standard price. Okay, and that is exactly we need to calculate. We are telling the system that for this particular material we are going to follow the standard price and we have to specify the standard price here. So one option is we can provide the standard cost mandatory. I can say okay, 33,000 is the standard cost of this material. But how this 33,000 was determined? It was determined outside the system. Have we determined this in SAP system? No. How we determined this? Just using the Excel. Okay, task we want to automate. Okay, if some company is doing all these calculations in Excel, then they don't need product costing. Why do they need product costing is just to make sure that this information is getting calculated automatically in the system. Okay, so we are telling the system that for finished products, we are going to use the standard price. And for raw materials, normally we use moving average. Okay, just remember for finished products, we will use standard price. And for raw materials, we will need moving average price. Okay, so just press enter. If you are getting this warning, system is telling you that you specified the standard price, but you are not provided the price. But no need to worry, we are going to calculate this price automatically in the system. So now our material desktop has been created. So which means finished product is available in the system. What we need now is we need some raw materials. So hard disk, RAM, CPU. Okay, so again I'll go to the create material screen. So first of all, I will create a hard disk. Now this one, the material type would be raw material. So for that you will be using ROH. Okay, you use ROH for raw materials. Press enter. Basic data 1, 2. Now this is raw material. We are not going to sell the hard disk. We are going to use the hard disk in manufacturing. That is the reason I will not go for sales. I will go for purchasing instead. I want to purchase it, right? From outside. Come down, general data for plant and accounting 1. Just press enter. So our plant is ABCS, storage location is ABC1. Okay, and here you will enter whatever is your material. So this is hard disk, base unit of measurement. Someone has made material group mandatory for raw material, so just provide any group from the list of values. Keep on pressing enter. If anything is mandatory, system will ask you that information. Otherwise, just keep on pressing enter. Okay, and in the accounting view, again the valuation class, just do F4 and select the valuation class as 3000. The standard delivered valuation class for raw material is 3000. And you can see here price control by default is moving average. Okay, so for raw materials we are going to use moving average. For finished products we are going to use standard price. Okay, save this also. If you are getting this warning, just press enter. Okay, so now material HDD has been created. Next one is RAM. Enter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looking for finished product, the standard cost will be maintained manually by team, or it will be generated automatically?
No, that is exactly what I told you. So whenever you are creating the material, see if I go to MM03, once the material is created, I can go to MM03 to see it. And I want to see the standard price of desktop. Okay, press enter and the price is maintained in accounting. Okay, so I'll go to accounting view for plant ABCS, enter. You can see as of now the standard price is 0. Okay, why? Because we have not provided any manual price. If you want to provide, you can do MM02. Okay, go to accounting one. Okay, and you can provide the standard price here. So currently it is showing 00. Maybe we can change this, or at the time of creation you can do it. But the thing is, if you are doing it manually, then what is the purpose of using standard cost? What is the purpose of product costing? We are using product costing. Within product costing, I told you there are two types. There are two activities that are we going to do in the product costing. Number one is product cost planning. So this product cost planning itself means what? Product cost planning itself means to determine this value automatically.
Okay.
If you are providing it manually, then there is no need of product costing.
Yes.
Right? So we want the system to automatically derive this based on this information that we have provided already. Based on all this information, system will automatically derive this standard cost of the product.
And Vikram, this will be the planned, right? Or it will be actual?
This will be planned.
Okay.
Standard cost, whatever you are entering here, this is a planned value. Whenever you are creating the material or whatever price is available here, standard price, this is a planned price, not the actual price.
Thank you, Vikram. Sorry, I missed it when you were explaining.
No problem, no problem. You can ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Vikram, I have one question.
yes.
So for this raw material we are entering for material, do we have to like link that it is part of that finished product desktop? So
Yes,
there is no
in the BOM. That is in the
Okay.
BOM. Not currently we are creating this materials independent, because this materials can be part of different finished products, right? Same hard disk I can
Okay.
use to other desktop also. I can use on the laptop also.
Okay.
Right? That is in the BOM. We need to tell the system which raw materials are part of this finished product, not at the time of material.
Okay.
Okay, so again I'll go to the material. So this time I want to create RAM. I'll select basic data 1, 2. Sales I don't need, purchasing I need, and then I need general data for plant and accounting. So every time if I want to use the same tabs, I can save this in the default settings. Now next time it will not ask me which tabs I want to create. It will by default take this one. Okay, press enter. ABCS is my plant and ABC1 is my storage location. Okay, so this is RAM, Unit of measurement, I'll go with each material group. This one, keep on pressing enter. Okay, and specify the valuation class as 3000 and save it. Again, you can see moving average price. Okay, what is next? Next is CPU monitor processor. So CPU monitor processor, let's create it quickly. CPU box, or maybe CPU underscore box. It allows spaces also, so that should not be the problem. So CPU box, you can see system has automatically selected this tabs, plant, this one, and storage location, this one. This is nothing but CPU box. Okay, and in the valuation class, I will select 3000 and click on save. So this is how we created the raw material. Monitor, enter, enter. Sorry. Okay, here I'll select the valuation class. Click on save. Processor, enter, 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 enter. Save and enter. Okay, so what are the two things remaining? Keyboard and mouse. So let's create one itself, keyboard and mouse set. Okay, let's say there is a set which is coming under one bundle, keyboard and mouse. Enter, enter. Okay, so now our raw materials are also ready. So we have the FG and we have the raw material. So what is already available now? The first point is already with us. We have the FG and raw materials created as the material masters in SAP. So this is already available and these are already available. What is next now? Next is we need to create this activity types.
Vikram, sorry, one question.
Yes.
For this costing data, we don't need to enter, right? What is that purpose of that in Material Master?
Sorry, what costing data?
That costing tab is there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
costing tab will come automatically as soon as you do the costing. So currently we are still not carried out the costing for the FG and we are still not carried out the costing for the raw material also, right? So once you do the standard cost of the material, that costing tab will come automatically.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, it will come automatically. When we do the costing, when we do the standard cost of this material, that information will come automatically. Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Vikram, so there is only one way to determine the cost of the product is standard product costing. Am I correct? So there are no any other ways to determine.
The purpose of product costing, when I say product cost planning, the whole purpose of product cost planning is to determine the standard cost of the product.
Yes, but in reality, all the companies will follow this, right? Or there is any other way around as well?
No, if they are using SAP, if they want to calculate the cost automatically in the system, then they will go for product costing only. But if they are doing it manually in Excel and then they are updating the price, that is something which is different thing.
Not manuals, but they automatically updating the price for the finished product.
Only this way.
And only this is the way, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so what I was saying is, yes, we need to create these 3 activity types. Okay, and if you remember, we discussed in activity types, we had one session on activity types. I told you, what are the activity types? What do you mean by activity types?
Activity types are the processes which has been done on the raw material.
No, that you are talking from the production side now. But what exactly is the purpose of activity type? Last time, if you remember, we created activities.
Activity type
Yes. And
basically the created on the like cost center, which is basically on that cost center we are creating that activity.
when
Yes,
other cost centers are doing work or
exactly.
giving services to some
Right,
other cost centers.
right. So activity types are the activities that are provided by one cost center to different cost centers. Right. So one cost center is responsible to provide one or multiple activities to other departments. Right. So now when we are talking about assembling, quality, packing, this also are the activities that are provided by different cost centers, right? So whenever you are creating the activity type, first of all, you need to create the corresponding cost center who is providing these activities. Okay, so in this example, what I'll do is I will create a separate cost center for assembling, separate cost center for quality, separate cost center for packing, and we will tell the system that assembling department is providing assembling activity, quality department is providing quality activity, and packing department is providing packing activity. Okay, so we not only need to create the cost and we not only need to create the activity types, we also need to create the cost centers first. Okay, so in order to create a cost center, I'll go to transaction KS01. Okay, and within the controlling area, which is ABCS, I will create assembling as a cost center. Okay, so this assembling is what? It is a cost center. Okay, cost center category of assembling is going to be production. So now whatever cost centers I am creating, these are for the production purpose, right? They are responsible for manufacturing a particular product. So production. Okay, hierarchy area, I can select the hierarchy area as desktops because this is assembling I'm going to use in the desktops. Okay, currency would be same INR which I'm using for my company code, and profit center would be again desktop. Okay, so whatever cost will be incurred on this cost center, it will be reported in the desktop section. Right? Let's try to save it. Similarly,
I'm sorry, Vikram.
yes.
Vikram, but when we create this at the cost center level, particularly to one desk, means a product, then it's not the common expense, right, Vikram?
No, it is not for a particular desktop. It is an entire division of desktop.
Yes, but it won't include the cost for the laptops, right?
Okay, so in that case, what we can do is, if you want see, it totally depends. Because in this example, if you see what we took, we have a separate plant which is responsible for desktop manufacturing, and we have a separate plant which is responsible for laptop manufacturing, right?
Yes.
Now, in this particular case, there is no question of common production, right?
Yes.
Because my plants are totally independent. But yes, if you have a common plant where you are manufacturing laptop as well as desktops, and you have a common department, then definitely you have to create this cost center as a common one. You don't need to assign it to the desktop, you can assign to the common one.
Okay, so okay, I understand. But when we take activity type as our this for our configuration, does it require to be a common or it can be the plant specific?
It also needs to be plant specific, because in the activity type you have to provide which cost center is providing this activity, right?
Yes.
That is the reason. So if you want common, we can do one thing. I'll go to KS02,
No,
and
please.
what I want.
No, Vikram, please go ahead the way you have done it. So,
No problem, no problem. Just to make you understand,
mm,
see what will happen is currently I'm saying that I have a separate plant, and under that plant I'm doing the assembling activity.
yes.
Okay, but if I want the common plant, then what I'll do is I will move it to the common one.
Okay.
Okay, which means it will be used for desktop also and laptop also,
Okay, Vikram.
right? Even the profit center I can just assign to the common one. Instead of one-to-one assignment, I can say, okay, this is a department which is performing the activity common for desktop, laptop, and as well as for the service.
Okay, for me, I was thinking like when we use activity type, it should be common, but it seems it's not like that, right, Vikram?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You can create the activity types independently also for each plant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we created one cost center. We need to create another one now. So again, I'll go to KS01. So this time I'm going to create it for QA. Enter. So this is quality check. Hierarchy area I'll keep same. Business area I don't need. Currency I will select, and this one desktop. So this is cost center number 2, and last one is packing. Enter. So this is going to be packing activity. Okay, and here again desktop, INR, and this is going to be desktop. So now I have 3 cost centers. Now once I have the cost centers, I can go ahead and create the activity types. Okay, I'll create 1:1 activity types, which means cost center quality will be providing me quality activity, cost center packing will provide me packing activity, and cost center assembling will provide me assembling activity. So in order to create the activity types, I can directly use a transaction, which is, if you go to activity types, individual processing, KL01 is a transaction to create an activity type. Okay, 1:1. So assembling, enter. So this is assembling activity. Okay, activity type, sorry, activity unit is going to be hours or minutes, right? If you remember, this activity is going to be performed based on minutes, based on the timelines, right? So I have to select this as minute. So I think it is MIN. Maybe let me try to select from here. Yes, it is MIN. Okay, cost center categories, which cost centers can provide this? So this is going to be only production. Okay, activity type category, I told you last time to use manual entry, manual allocation. So we'll continue to use that, and allocation cost element. Okay, so if you remember last time also, whenever we created the activity type, we need a cost element, secondary cost element of type activity allocation. So if you do F4, yes. Yes, Neha, you have a question?
No, sorry. I thought we have to specify cost element 43 category or something, but it seems secondary cost center, right?
Yeah, this is secondary cost itself. So if you go to 9003, if you go to GL account of, this is another company code. So our company code is ABCS, and within this, if you go to 9003, you can see it is 43 only.
Yes. Okay.
Right, so you can create separate cost element for different purpose. If you want separate cost element to be created per activity type, that can also be done, but not required. Maybe at least for the testing sake, it is not required. If you want to create separate cost element for per activity type, that you can be created easily. Okay, but that is not mandatory. Okay, and click on save.
Vikram,
Now,
so will there be any variances
variances in what?
in that secondary cost element GL account?
No. It is not for variance. It is for whatever cost will be incurred by the cost center initially in the common cost center, that will be later on settled to the different cost centers for which the service is being provided. So in
Okay.
this particular example, if we talk from the production point of view, the assembling department, assembling cost center, had to pay salaries, had to pay rent, had to pay, there are a lot of expenses that would be borne by the assembling department, right? But
Yes.
later on, at the end of the month or at the end of the production cycle, whatever cost has been collected by that particular cost center, it has to be settled to the production order, right? So whatever cost has been collected, let's say if I'm assembling 10 computers, so the assembling department will assemble those 10 computers, and what it will do is at the end of the manufacturing cycle, it will, based upon how much time we utilized of that particular cost center, it will charge to the production order, it will charge to the material,
Okay, Vikram.
right? So that is the reason we are creating this internal activity allocation. Again, don't get worried as of now. You will see the scenario and then you will come to know, okay, what exactly is happening in the background.
Okay, thank you, Vikram.
Okay, so you have assembling, second is you have QA, this is quality, this is also minutes. I'm using this also as production, this is going to be one, and allocation cost element also I'm using same. Okay, and last one is packing. So pack, okay, and save it. So now we have all three activity types also available. So we have all the raw materials required. We already created these raw materials. We already created this activity types. So number 2 is create all cost centers. And number 3 is create all activity types. Right? Now what is next? We have all the raw materials available. We have all the activity types available. So we can create a BOM. Right now we can easily create a BOM and we can create a routing. Right? So number 4 is create a BOM. Okay, coming to the responsibility. Who will create the cost center? Which department will create a cost center?
FI.
CO end user, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Activity types, again, CO end user. Who will create a BOM?
MM.
PP.
PP, not MM. BOM is created by PP because it is related to the production. Okay, so let's try to do this. Create a BOM. Maybe I'll enter the transaction codes also here. So this is going to be MM01. I'll send you this list, a completed list. MM01, KS01, KL01, and coming to BOM. So now BOM you'll be able to find under PP node. Okay, you will not be able to see BOM in accounting. For BOM you have to go to logistics, within production, PP module, master data, you can see bill of material, BOM. Okay, open this, bill of material, material BOM, and transaction code is CS01. So CS01 is a transaction to create a BOM. Okay, If you go to transaction CS01, let's double click on this. Okay, so system is asking you for which material you want to create a BOM. So here you are going to provide the FG material, not the raw material, right? You are creating the BOM for what? You are creating the BOM for the desktop. There is no BOM requirement for hard disk raw material. These are itself the units. These are itself the raw materials. The BOM is normally created for the finished product. So you want to create a BOM for the finished product, that is desktop. Okay, so enter the desktop here. Okay, and BOM usage should be production. You are creating the BOM for the production. You want to produce this material. So select one, press enter. It is locked by my user ID. So yeah, I am in change mode of material. Okay, so let's go again to create material BOM, press enter. Okay, and this is where you need to tell the system which are the components which are required to manufacture the desktop. Okay, so from item category, you have to select L, stock item. Okay, what do you mean by stock item? So RAM, hard disk, all these materials are already in our stock. We want to consume these materials whenever we are going to produce. So just remember, if you are just providing the raw materials are always with L. Okay, and then which raw materials? So I need hard disk, I need RAM, okay, I need a monitor, I need CPU box, I need processor, and I need keyboard and mouse. Is it complete? So keyboard, mouse are merged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So total 6 units. So maybe here also I'll make the change so that we are doing exactly what we are doing in the Excel. So delete this, and make this as 500. Okay. So now the system knows that in order to manufacture a desktop, I need hard disk, RAM, monitor, CPU box, processor, keyboard, and all these things are stock items with quantity. So I need to enter quantity here. So one quantity, 1, 1, and 1. Enter. Now we are getting an error. It is saying material type ROH, which means raw material, cannot be used with item category L. Now there is a reason. There is one more configuration that you need to do. Okay, which is, maybe you can go from here itself. Let's see if it is taking you to there. No, it is not taking. So just do one thing. Open a new screen and go to transaction OMS2, I think. OMS2. Yes. Here you select the raw material and FERT both. So select FERT first. Like whatever material types we want to use, we have to do the same thing. So FERT, double click on quantity and value update. Go for your valuation area. Your valuation area means your plant. So our plant is ABCS. Okay, and tick on these two indicators, quantity update, value update. What exactly is meaning of this? Why we are activating these two indicators? We want to track the quantity of our stock item, and we want to also track the value. Okay, whenever we are going to do any transaction in material, we want to track how much quantity is available in the stock with how much is the value of that particular stock. Okay, so we have to tick this quantity update and value update. Just save it. Do the same thing for ROH also, raw material type ROH. So ROH, double click on quantity and value update for your plant, which is ABCS. Double click, tick on these two indicators. Save. So done. Now let's try to do this once again. BOM, let's press enter. Yes, that error is gone. Okay, and if you just save it, so you have successfully created the BOM. BOM is created now. System knows in order to manufacture the desktop, what are the raw materials required. Okay, and the last one is, so we have created the BOM. Now we need to create a routing. In order to create a routing, we need to tell the system that which activities are need to be carried out in order to manufacture a desktop for how many minutes. Okay, so in order to create a routing, again, it is a part of PP. So before you create a routing, there is one more activity of work centers. Okay, I'll show you why. Because if I try to create a routing now, routings, standard routings, and transaction code is CA01. So I'm writing here because I know there is one more activity of creating the work centers. So CA01 is to create routings. Okay, so if I go to routings, let's double click on this, create routings. Here again, I need to specify the material, for which material I'm creating the routing, for which plant. Okay, and then click on operations. Okay, here click on new entry. First of all, you have to provide this information. Usage would be again production. Okay, similar to BOM. When we created the BOM, there also system asked us. And overall status should be 4, release general. Okay, that's it. And then again go to routings now. Okay, and within routings, sorry, let's go to the operations. This is where you need to specify which activities for how much time. Okay, but the thing is, whenever you are using PP module, in PP module, whatever activities you do, that is done at the work center. So assembling is a work center, packing is another work center, which means a department or a machine which is responsible to carry out that task. So you not only need to tell the system what activity needs to be done, but you also need to tell the system this activity will be done in which work center. Okay, so in short, whatever 3 activity types we created, whatever 3 cost centers we created, we also need to create all these 3 as work centers before we create a routing. Okay, and it is also very simple. So in order to create a routing, we need the work centers. I'm coming out of this, not saving this as of now. And instead of routing, I'll go to the work center. So work center and transaction code is CR01. So before you create a routing, you need to create a work center. Okay, how to create a work center? Let's double click on this. Okay, so as I told you, it should be same as your activities and cost centers. So work center assembling, you have to provide the work center category. Okay, whether it is a machine, you are going to do this assembling activity in the machine, or you are going to do it as a labor. Okay, so let's say it is a labor activity, or let's take any machine itself. Let's say we are doing this with machine. Press enter. Just provide the name. So this is going to be assembling. Person responsible. We have still not created any person responsible. So normally in PP, for every work center, there's a one person responsible for carrying out this activity. Okay, so if you have not created any person till now, just click on yes here. Continue without specifying the project, and you can simply create one person there. So determine the person responsible. What we will do is we will just copy from another plant. So our plant is ABCS. Okay, and we will use the same person responsible for the work center. Okay, normally in the production system, your user will be created here. But again, we don't need to worry because we are just creating because work center is mandatory. Usage again, usage is going to be this time there is no production. In this one, the usage would be all task types 009. Okay, and here standard value key should be SAP 0. Okay, just press enter.
Vijay, what's the standard value key used for?
This is used actually for calculations. Okay, so whatever activities you will be entering here, it will be for the calculations. But again, in case of standard costing, we don't need to worry about this. This is something related to the PP itself. Because whatever costing related information you will be able to see in the costing tab. See, this is where you are assigning your work center to the cost center. Right? So whatever activity you will be doing in this work center, the cost would be booked in this cost center. So again, assembling cost center. Press enter. Okay, try to save it. So work center has been created, but there is something wrong. Let me see if I go to change default values, costing. Just give me a minute. There seems to be something wrong because it should ask for other information also. So capacities and all, we don't need to worry. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. I need to assign this SAP 1. Let's see. Enter. And then if I go to costing. Yes, sorry. You need to specify SAP 1. And then here, we don't need to specify anything. If you go to costing tab now, yes, this is where you need to specify the activity type. So this assembling activity, are you going to do it via machine or labor or setup, whatever is required. So in order to perform the assembling, you may need some setup time, you may need some machine time, and you may need some labor time. So in my case, I'm saying I only need machine, and the activity type which is going to be responsible for this activity is assembling, right? We created this activity type already. Okay, we created this activity type, but you can see we are getting this message. No activity type assigned to cost center controlling area ABCS on this one. What exactly is the meaning of this? Okay, although we created this activity type, if I show you KL03, see, we created this activity type, but we are getting this error here. What is the error? That no activity types assigned to cost center. No activity types assigned to cost center controlling area on this. This means we created the activity type, but this activity type is, we still not told the system who is going to provide this activity. Can this cost center provide this activity? We are still not told the system if this cost center is providing this activity, how much it will charge. What is the cost per hour of charging of performing the assembling activity? Right, that is the reason we are getting this error. So maybe I think it would be too much for you to digest if I continue. So maybe we can stop here today and tomorrow I'll start from here. Okay, so now what we need to do is, before we continue this work center, we have to tell the system this price. We have to tell the system that this activity is provided by assembling cost center at 4,000 per hour. Okay, maybe let's complete this part. If you want, you can go through this video 1 or 2 times, because otherwise tomorrow, in order to reach this topic, we will have to take a lot of time. So let's complete this topic. So we need to tell the system that this activity will be provided by this cost center at what price. And how are you going to do that? So in order to provide the activity rates, This is called as activity rates. We do this activity rates in KP26. Okay, so here you are telling the system which cost center is providing you which activity type at what price. So version 0, controlling version 0 we are using, and let's say for the 12th period, okay, in the 12th month, this cost center which is assembling is providing the activity type. Okay, click on this. This is where you have to specify the price, at what price. Okay, and per minute, we told per minute, not per hour. So we have to provide the price per minute here. Let's perform the calculation. So let's keep it simple. Instead of 4,000, I will make this as 6,000 so that it can be without decimals. So if it is 6,000 per hour, then it is going to be 600, no, 100 per minute, right? 6,000 divided by 60 minutes, 100 per minute, right? So this will get changed to what? This will get changed to, or if I want to keep it same, I will make this as 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So now this will remain same, right? So 6,000 per minute is the cost to provide this activity. Okay, click on save. So now what you are told the system that this cost center provides this activity type. Now if you continue with the work center, enter, it is asking you the formula. So it has considered this activity type and it is just asking you the formula. In the formula, just use SAP 1, 2, 3. Okay, don't use any other formula here. 1 is for setup time, 2 is for machine, 3 is for labor. So what we are using currently, we are using machine time. So we will go with machine 1, SAP 002. Enter and save. Okay, same thing we need to do for other work centers. So next work center is packing or QA. Enter. Sorry, this is change. We need to go for creation. So CR01 work center would be QA. Enter. This is going to be quality check. Person responsible, we can use same person. Usage would be 009, which is for all task types. And this one would be SAP1. Enter. Go to costing then. Specify the cost center. So this is going to be QA cost center. And again, let's say quality is also performed with machine. So activity type for quality is QA. Okay, and the formula would be again same for machine. Enter. System is again telling you that have you provided these rates? Have you told the system which cost center provides which activity type? We are not specified, right? So what we need to do is again, let's go to KP26 and plan for QA. Okay, enter. So what is the rate? This is also 6,000 per hour. So you will go here and you will tell the system that per minute price is 100. Sorry, how much price we specified earlier? I think 6,000, which was wrong. Per minute is 100, right? So I need to change the price for assembling also. It is per minute. Per minute price is 100. 6,000 is per hour price, but per minute price is 100. You can see I need to specify the price per minute and save. Okay, last one also I will specify here, which is packing. Okay, in case of packing, it is 200 per hour because you can see price per hour is 12,000. So 200 per minute. Okay, save. Let's continue with the work center. So enter, save. Same way, last one, which is packing. Enter. Packing activity, person responsible, usage, and this one. Go to costing tab, provide the cost center, which is packing, and here machine, you will use the activity type pack and this formula, same formula, and save. Right, so now our work centers are created. Once our work centers are created, we are ready for reroutings. Okay, the last activity for today, we will just complete the routing part. So I'll go to CA01. I want to create a routing for this desktop, for this plant. Press enter, or you can click on operations. In operations, you will click on new. So first, as I told you, you have to provide this usage. Usage would be production. Overall status would be 4, which is released general, right? And then click on the operations again. This is where you need to specify which work center is providing what activity for how many minutes. So work center number 1 is assembling. So first activity that we are going to do is assembling. Second activity we are going to do QA. Third activity that we are going to do is packing. Okay, press enter. System will ask you control key, just do F4 and select, maybe from this one we normally select PD04. Normally we select PD04. Okay, this is again part of PP. So why I did do that, I'm also not very much sure, but this is not related to our costing activity. Okay, so now you can see system is asking you assembling, quality and packing, and it is asking you how much time. How much time you need for setup, how much time you need for machine, and how much time you need for labor. So in our case, we only need machine time. How much? So enter this information, 20, 10, 10. Okay, so you'll go here in routing, 20, 10, 10, press enter and make sure that this is minute. Okay, it is asking. So unit of measurement is minute, unit of measurement is minute, and unit of measurement is minute. So all three, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So now system not only knows, okay, so task list contains some error. Do you still want to save? I'll say no. I want to see what is the error. So errors you should be able to see in some log. Let's see where I'm able to see the log. Are you able to see log somewhere? Let's try to save it once again. Save. Okay, let's try to say yes. Okay, we'll see what is the error. If it is stopping us somewhere, we will see. But this is how you create a routing. So now just look at this and understand what exactly we have done. So first of all, our purpose was to determine the price of the desktop. We told the system that in order to manufacture a desktop, we need this many raw materials. Okay, how we told the system? In the form of BOM. So we created a BOM and we told the system, these are the raw materials that we need in this much quantity. Second is we told the system that in order to manufacture this material, we need to carry out these activities. This activity we need to carry out 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and 10 minutes. This we are told through routing. Okay, and this price also we told the system you KP26. So we also have done KP26 even before creation of work center. So maybe I need to add one more line here, which is you have to perform KP26 before CR01 and CA01. So KP26, where you mention the activity rates. If your activity rates are not available, then system will not allow you to create a work center. Right? You created a work center and finally we created the routings. So now system can easily calculate what is the cost of activity because it knows what are the activity rates, which work center is providing that activity and for how much time. So activity rates can be calculated very easily now. All the information required is available with the system. What is still not available with the system is raw material prices, right? So the last thing that system wants is the raw material price.
Vikram, the raw material price will flow from the material we created, right? Raw material.
But we just created material. Have we provided any price there?
Oh, no.
When we created the raw materials, now itself, in the morning itself, we created the raw materials, right? So if I go for MM03 and go for any raw material, it's a RAM. Okay, and if I just ignore all these things and go to accounting, plant ABCS, yeah, this is another error now. So as of now, we have still not provided any price for this particular material. So if there is no price, then system will assume that the price is 0, which is wrong, right?
Yes.
So we will understand now how to how to provide the raw material price. Maybe tomorrow's session, we will start with providing the raw materials with the price, and then we will ask the system to calculate the standard cost for this material. That is the stock.
Okay, Vikram. And Vikram, just curiosity, like if raw material has been not priced in material master, I remember you had told me it's an info record from where the price will flow.
Yes.
But in most of the companies, the price will maintain in raw material master record itself, right? Or it will not be the case.
See, if it is a new raw material, in that case, the price will not come in the raw material automatically.
Okay.
If the material is, you are already purchasing this material, let's say even if you create one PO and you receive the material, your material price will automatically get updated as a moving average price.
Okay.
So what we will do tomorrow is, instead of depending upon purchase info record, I will show you how to buy this material. Okay, we will directly buy this material from the vendor. And once the material is available in the stock, then obviously we'll be able to know what is the price of that stock.
Okay, Vikram. Got it.
Okay. Okay, then thank you all. We'll meet tomorrow. Plus, please make sure one thing, that these are very important sessions. Don't wait for practicing. Do the practice as soon as we completed the session, because this product costing, if you do it together with me, then definitely you'll be benefited a lot. But later on, if you try to do after 15 days, 20 days, you may be not able to recollect whatever we have discussed.
Sure, Vikram.
Okay, thank you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vikram.